everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cooking a la Quarantine. I'm Jason, and I'm just happening to devein some shrimp because we're going to make some shrimp and grits from Carolina Grit Company. Now, I was going to order this fancy schmancy tool, but I couldn't get up with them in time. And so I looked around on the internet. Of course, just like everything else, some crazy Cajun, he's like, I guarantee this will work. What do you do? Well, here's what I'm doing. I'm taking a fork and I'm running it right down, right through, just like that. Now, hey, check that out. It's all skinned out. Now, these are local North Carolina shrimp. I got them from Washington Seafood and Crab over the weekend. It's Sunday here, so I got them yesterday. And you know what? Um, the girl was so nice. I gave her my card. I've got cards now, and I was like, hey, I forgot. I've got a card. And she looked, oh, how cute. So, but that was cool. I gave away my first card. It's got my Facebook stuff on it, my contact information. If anybody wants to send me anything, uh, I greatly appreciate it. And we'll be right back because the NSA timer just went off. Alright, so here's what I absolutely love about recipes. Will West owns this company with his wife. Okay, check out the little um, QR code and CarolinaGrits.com. I actually talked to this guy and I said, look, man, uh, this was like July, and I was like, look, I do a cooking show. I do this. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't. But anyway, this guy took a chance on me. He said, look, man, you buy one of these, I'll give you one for a giveaway. So his dad built this awesome grist mill. We're going to go take a field trip and check it out. But he gave me this recipe and gave me his phone number. And I'm like, yo, dude, what's the story behind this recipe? And he's like, I don't know, but I'll check it. I'll ask my parents. And he did. He found out that his grandmother had gotten this recipe. This was a seafood place down in Charleston, South Carolina that closed back in the 50s. So this recipe is probably 70 years old. That's kind of neat, I mean, so I've got my bacon, I've got my all this crap. Now here's the thing with the grits. Um, I'm not going to use scallions. We don't have scallions. I'll slice up some white onion and we'll fake it. So here's the thing with grits. Okay, I've cooked grits once in my life. It was an earlier show, but it was without his grits. So I learned that grits themselves are absolutely tasteless, and it's up to you to be creative and to flavor them accordingly. Now, you look at that. That's a heck of a lot better than some fancy industrial stuff. So we need a cup and a half of this. according to the recipe, cup and a half. And I gotta boil the water first. Well, I, we'll be right back. Alright, so I got a bunch of salt with my clean hands. And this recipe says if you use milk and water, it'll be creamier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half and half. I mean, my wife grew up on 1%. I grew up on whole. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a 0.5%. I grew up on whole, which probably means it's like melted ice cream. I don't know, but this is what I cook with. I like it. You know, it's what floats my boat. So here's the thing I learned about grits. You can cook them, but you got to keep stirring. It's just like my French onion soup. The soup that started it all. So I've got to bring this stuff to a boil and keep stirring. And these instructions, you can find this on Amazon or locally here in Nash County. But it says, bring to a boil, cover and simmer 35 minutes until smooth. Stir often. Great. Get to stir it. But you know what? Here's the cool thing about this. This is a local guy. He plays music on the weekends. He gave me a CD that was just. He's like, "Hey man, do you still have a CD player?" I'm like, "Bet your ass I do. I even have a VHS player somewhere." I don't, but I did up until we cleaned out the office thanks to COVID. And you know, I mean, it's good to support the local guy. I mean, help him out. He's on Amazon. He'll ship anywhere in the world. And we're going to find out how he makes grits. We'll be right back. Hey, so we've got our grits going here. I gotta do this without burning the hell out of my hand. That's basically it, and that's on simmer. And you gotta stir them every couple of minutes. Gonna cook up some onions. I'm gonna add some vampire repellent. I'm gonna add some scrimps. I hate that word. My wife knows it burns me to no end. And see, I'm so upset that the recipe calls for Tabasco. And this is North Carolina recipe, so I'm going to have to go with a little Texas Pete action here. We're just going to have to go over it. My coveted Old Bay is going to be held up, but my friend and yours, Texas Pete, no, I haven't heard anything from them yet. It'd be nice, but anyway, so we're going to cook these down until they get nice and translucent. I'm going to throw some garlic in, throw some mushrooms in, get that going, and then throw the shrimp in. And what you do is when they get to be about like this, because they'll turn up, and you cook them till they're pink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this out, throw it in the pot, and it said sprinkle the bowl with cheese. Obviously, this is not a Jason Knapp cooking a la quarantine recipe. because we're going to drown it in some cheese. So we'll be right back. All right, it is the month of October, so nice healthy dose of vampire repellent. Mix that up. My wife's favorite mushrooms. I used to work in a place like that once. You know, they feed you crap and keep you in the dark all day. Bum, bum, bum. So anyway, once this stuff gets cooked down, I'll throw the shrimp in, I'll add some hot sauce, and we'll be good to go. So we'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to add the shrimp. These are different than the store-bought ones. These are out of Washington Seafood and Crab. They come to the farmer's market every Saturday. I'm going to put a nice healthy dose of Texas Pete on there. So yes, a Yankee is cooking shrimp and grits. Southerners everywhere are probably flipping out. Not really, because food is what brings people together. I don't care where you're from, what you do. People like food. They might not like the same food, but we all like to eat. We all like to laugh. And, you know, that's how it goes. So when these guys get nice pink, we'll turn it off. We'll see you with the finished product. Alright, so we've got our shrimp and mushrooms and onions and garlic. And anyway, alright, so what it says is to put the grits over top. And I made them extra creamy because, I don't know, I thought, you know, thicker might be better. And not really good at this plating stuff. I know people take classes on it and what have you. I mean, that's cool. I've always wanted to take a cooking class at Nash Community College, and the recipe called for a garnishment of cheese, which, you know what, looks good to me. So, grab some spoons, mix it up, you know, just get that cheese melted, get the bacon at the bottom. And you know what? The coolest thing about these grits, I got to make a friend out of it, which was kind of neat. You know, I mean, like I told you, food brings people together. And music. Maybe the occasional beer. I don't know. But here we go. You know what? I like that, and that's not even the cheese talking. Look, here's the best part. It's creamy. It's got that gritty, not gritty. It's got. I mean, you know, you're eating um, ground corn. I mean, look at this. Little speckles. That's corn. That's pretty cool. It's made right here, Nash County. You know, so it's not all about, I can shop wherever. I don't need to go to the grocery store. I'm not that far out there. I'm just trying to flatten the curve a little bit and support the local guy when I can. So remember, be kind, be excellent to each other. Check this guy out on Amazon, and I'll catch you soon. Have a great day.